Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. So to the freethoughtproject.com we go, where they are highlighting, oh, this is good. This is very good. Finally, we get a little bit of karma coming around on some of these bureaucrats who really exploit their position and create these massive conflicts of interest that happen and that taint what should be the protection of your rights. Instead, they exploit you and they take your rights away, meanwhile benefiting big pharma and other big industry to the tunes of billions and billions of dollars each year. Well, the CDC head was forced to resign after she was caught buying shares in vaccine and big tobacco. How interesting is that? A scathing report has just revealed, it says, that the now former head of the CDC, Brenda Fitzgerald, was purchasing shares in drug companies as well as big tobacco while heading up the organization's ostensibly the organization of the federal government that's really responsible for public health. The hypocritical nature of her position at the CDC while simultaneously investing in companies contrary to her mission exposes the true control industries have over allegedly objective government agencies. Now, for those that don't know, the CDC is supposed to be the nation's leader in smoking cessation efforts, as smoking-related deaths kill more people in the United States every year than anything else. So when the head of the nation's largest anti-smoking department not only holds a massive amount of stock in big tobacco, but actually buys more of it while she's in office, it's time to pay attention. And what's more, the CDC is currently fighting a massive opioid epidemic right now in America, so they say, an alleged opioid epidemic. Even though, think about this, I want people to know right now that more people commit suicide. Suicide is the 9th leading cause of death in the United States. Yet, we're not hearing about a suicide epidemic, right? How about heart disease? The food we eat is horrible. If you want to eat real food, you can't afford it. So heart disease runs rampant in this country, yet although it's in the top 3 causes of death here in the United States, you don't hear about the heart disease epidemic. How about ibuprofen? How about sodium naproxen and other nonsteroidal anti-inflammatories that kill twice the amount of people each year as those that take and die as a result of opioids? Yet, you don't hear about that at all in the mainstream media. It's very interesting. But now, the head of this agency that's responsible for all of these things is buying stock in the very companies that are creating these messes. You don't buy tobacco stocks when you're head of the CDC. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it gives a very terrible, terrible appearance and perception. It really does. Now, Fitzgerald is a Donald Trump appointee. Now, she already owned stock in 5 other tobacco companies when she assumed the leadership of the CDC. Documents reveal Fitzgerald had holdings in Reynolds American, British American Tobacco, Imperial Brands, Philip Morris International, and the Altria Group. After assuming her position, she then moved to purchase even more big tobacco shares in Japan Tobacco, one of the largest tobacco companies in the world who sells multiple brands in the United States. Now, Politico pointed out that buying shares of tobacco companies raises even more flags that Fitzgerald's trading in drug and food companies because it stands in stark contrast to the CDC's mission to persuade smokers to quit and keep children from becoming addicted. Remember, it's always about the children. It always goes back to the children. Now, critics say her trading behavior broke with ethical norms for public health officials and was at best sloppy. At worst, they say, it was legally problematic if she didn't recuse herself from government activities that could have affected her investments. And on top of the investment or investing in companies, who can be defined as the enemy of her job, Fitzgerald, after her appointment, began investing in major drug companies as well. And as we know, the CDC, of course, is responsible for creating and enforcing the vaccine schedule for all Americans. So when the head of the CDC begins to grow a financial relationship with the very companies who make billions and billions of dollars off of vaccines, then you have to see that a major ethical line here has been crossed. And Fitzgerald also bought thousands of dollars of shares in several healthcare companies as well, to include Merck, Bayer, and Humana, which is also a conflict of interest. So, what we see is really the manifestation of the revolving door for people in this industry, in this profession. Think about it. Dr. Julie Gerberding, the former director of the CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, was named, by the way, as president of Merck's vaccine division immediately following her 7-year stay in government. Hello? Do you not see what's going on here? And when industry insiders move back and forth between companies that profit from government laws and the government, well, there's no such thing as objectivity or even democracy. Americans are told that these appointees' ties to special interests give them, the professional experience, which makes them uniquely qualified for the job. However, what it really does foster is corporatism. And it fosters corruption and unethical behavior, all at the expense of American citizens. And while Fitzgerald may have resigned over the massive scandal, guess what? You're going to have another person that's going to roll in there with all that experience, that's going to do the exact same thing and roll out at the end of their tenure and go and take their cushy little position within Big Pharma once all is said and done. Unless we stop it. And the only way we stop it is to not be apathetic and to actually do something about it. These bureaucratic positions are often overlooked because we always focus our attention on the elected representatives. But what we don't really pay attention to, and this is going to come out today with the release of that FBI memo, you're going to find rampant corruption throughout all branches, through all bureaus, within all of the bureaucracy of government. It's going to be akin to the Me Too movement if this could actually take hold. With all the whistleblowers, once you get a couple of them coming out that speak about the corruption, they'll all come out. So I hope maybe tomorrow, with the release of this memo, and also, with the CDC head resigning, that maybe we can get some traction here and actually start to fix some of the stinking cesspool problems that we have here within the federal government. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. #WakeTheFlockUp. Have a great day, everybody.